I think it's safe to say that we all understand, especially after reading the textbook, and I'm sure before that, that the post-practice stretch is an important part of a workout. I know in many of the teams I was on growing up, we didn't do any of that. There was no post-practice stretch. We did dynamic warm-ups and did the static stretches with the warm-ups, and there was never a post-practice stretch. I do wish that's something that I would have incorporated. So these are a couple post-practice stretches that you can do with your youth baseball team that would be good to finish out a practice, things that they worked on for the past, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you may be practicing. The first one, we're going to do a couple shoulder things here, and then we'll work our way down to the ground. The first one is an anterior shoulder stretch. You can do this a couple different ways. Okay, you can start it with clasping your hands behind your back here and straightening out the shoulders, and then you can lift the arms as high as you can go until you feel that mild stretch. And we talk about that mild discomfort. It shouldn't hurt. This is about as high as I can go. I have pretty tight shoulders from my softball days, so this is as high as I can go. Getting a good stretch here. Each of these stretches will be held for 30 seconds, all right? So you can either have the kids count to 30 as a group, where it's a 1, 2, 3 going off like that, or the coach can call it. Might be a good team building thing though to have the kids do it. So you're here. You can also do that stretch in a different way, where you have the hands behind the chest, all right? And then you can try and pull the elbows forward. So I'm trying to pull my elbows forward here, and I can feel that good stretch up here in my shoulders. A little rotator cuff action, because I know we worked that a lot throughout practice today. So that would be the first stretch. Either way you decide to do it, you can hold those stretches for 30 seconds, all right? Next one you want to do, two different ways you could do this one. You could do this one with a partner, where I'm standing up with my partner. I have my elbow here straight out from my shoulder at 90 degrees. My partner be standing next to me with their same arm out, and we're pushing against each other, trying to get a stretch in here. All right, again, in the shoulder, pushing against each other. If I turn the camera around here and do it against the wall, all right, if I'm right here, you can see I'm here. I can also push against the wall, turning my body this way, keeping it 90 degrees. So if you're at practice in a gym, or you're along the fence or the dugout wall, you can be here, okay? Again, getting a stretch up inside the shoulder. Good area to really work. I know I developed tendonitis in my shoulder in college from all the throwing. This is a good preventative measure for that. Okay, doing that stretch right there, doing it on both arms, obviously holding each arm for 30 seconds. Next one, I think we all know these stretches, getting into the back area here of the shoulder, coming across the lats, okay, pulling the elbow all the way across, getting that hand back to the back wall. They call it the back wall here in the gym. Elbows bent directly across my chest, pulling back, feeling a nice stretch back here in the lats, okay? And then doing the same thing on the other side, pulling across for 30 seconds, okay? Then you can go, I think we all know the transition here, to behind our head, stretching out through the side here, pulling down the elbow, okay, getting a good stretch in the triceps as well, pulling them back down on each side. Key here, open up the hand in the back and try and push it down the middle of the back. That allows for the best stretch. Okay, we want to make sure we're watching our kids. They're tired at this point, they're fatigued from practice. Keep them straight up, make sure they're doing these stretches correctly. All right, they can watch each other as well. Next one, arms are coming above the head. Okay, interlocking the fingers up top. You could do it where we're extended all the way up here, so we flip the hands around. Feet a little bit more than, or feet about hip width apart. Standing straight up, staying in that direction, and then going to the side. Again, just to where you feel the stretch, and then coming to the other side. And this is going to be different for everyone, okay, depending how they work. Here, really important to make sure we're not leaning forward, keeping the back straight. Again, they're tired at this point, so really watch these stretches as they're doing it correctly. Next one, standing quad stretch. I think we all know this one, but a good key point. Make sure that they have a good base of support in that standing leg. And when they pick up the knee, they want to try and get it from the ankle. Okay, try and pick up that leg from the ankle. And again, stand straight up, getting the heel as close to the rear end, as close to the butt as they can. All right, standing up, getting a good stretch, knee pointed straight down. We want to make sure we're not here, okay? We don't want people pulling the heel to the other side of the hip. Okay, hip goes straight to the butt. Everything should be in a nice straight line right here. If you're looking at someone straight on, you shouldn't even be able to see their foot. Okay, keeping the core nice and tight so they can keep their body fully upright. You do that, again, on each leg for 30 seconds. Next one, seated hamstring stretch. So now we'll go to the ground and do a couple stretches. Again, standard stretches, seated hamstring stretch. You have a seat on the ground. Feet come straight out in front of you, all right? Raise your arms up and go down as far as you can. Okay, again, we're dealing with male athletes here, generally not as flexible as female athletes. So what I always tell my classes is reach as far as you can and hold that spot. I can reach and hold my toes for 30 seconds easily. A lot of people cannot do that. Hold on to your ankles for 30 seconds and hold the stretch. Hold on to your shins, wherever that needs to be. Okay, you hold on to that spot, keep the head tucked down. Little bit of rolling in the back here. We get a little bit of a secondary back stretch here, and then hold that stretch for 30 seconds, okay? Good hamstring stretch, lower back stretch. From here, we'll move on to the butterfly stretch, okay, where we're pulling our feet in, holding onto our ankles, and if they can, try to push down the ankles a little bit, push down the knees a little bit with the shoulders. I see a lot of people like this, and that's fine. All right, I am a little bit more flexible in this area, so I can, push them down a little bit, bringing my chest to my feet here that are next to each other. All right, holding that down, holding onto the ankles, getting the knees out as wide as possible, keeping the back straight. Pulling the chest to your feet will be a good command to give them, so that helps them realize what's supposed to go forward. All right, next one that I like to do is a glute stretch, okay, where you're laying on the ground. All right, you do both sides, just get good glute, little hip stretch here, where you lay down, okay, legs come bent. I'm gonna do my left leg first. So I'm gonna put my left leg over my right, lift up, and then pull on my knee, okay, pulling that back, pulling my knee till I feel a stretch in my left glute here. I really like this stretch a lot. It's a hard muscle to get a good stretch into, so this is good to do. And then you do the same thing on the other side for 30 seconds. And then from here, you can easily transition into a back twisted stretch, okay, where your legs come out and you bring your left leg over your right. Okay, when the left leg comes over, you want to try and get the left shoulder to the ground. Now, you're probably not going to be able to do that, but that's what's going to allow you to get the stretch. So pull the left shoulder to the ground as you bring the left leg over. Right leg is straight. And then you do the same thing on the other side. So I'm bringing my right leg over, trying to keep my right shoulder on the ground, getting a good twist in my back. All right, good stretch here along the spine. Great stretch for the back. And then the last stretch, hip flexor stretch. We've done a lot with the hip flexors. As they stand up, good hip flexor stretch. Right leg is all the way back. Left leg is forward at 90 degrees if you can get it there. Right leg is straight back. And then I'm going to sit my hips down, getting a good stretch here. Driving through the heels of the front leg, so all my weight is in the front of my heel. Okay, I'm not leaning forward. Knee is over the ankle. Okay, pushing straight back, making sure this leg is straight, pushing the heel back. The more I push the heel back, the better stretch I get in the hip, and then I do the same thing again on the other side. Make sure they are upright here. In neutral spine, back is straight. Okay, we tend to lean forward as we get tired. Again, as I said, want to make sure they're not doing that. Hips and back and shoulders should all be in line here. Getting that push back as far as we can. Good hip flexor stretch. So those are all good dynamic stretches you can end a baseball practice on. I hope they help you out. Again, all these stretches are probably very familiar to us. With 11 and 12-year-olds, it's something you want to keep pretty basic. And I think this is all something they should be able to do, but keep an eye on them as they do it, especially post-practice stretches where they are tired and fatigued at this point. Make sure that they keep their form correct, keeping the back straight as much as they can. Okay, if they can't do that, maybe hold this stretches a little bit less than 30 seconds. Anywhere from 15 to 30 will provide the benefit. So again, I hope that helped you guys out, and thank you very much.